Good evening and welcome to the latest episode of Schnozzcast. Your host tonight, Bob, Cory, Nick, and Todd. Gentlemen, Cory, how are you?
Oh, hey.
Nick, how are you?
Doing fine.
Todd?
Stupendous.
Ooh, a new word. New word from the Todd Dillon word day of the calendar.
Indeed.
There we go. All right. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. You can find us out here each and every weekend on streaming services, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music.
Big news, buddy.
Well, go ahead and
Jump
right in with the big news.
So we are now officially on what I just found out is the number one streaming platform in the world.
Okay.
YouTube Music.
Okay.
And we're number one?
We're working on that.
We're number one?
The platform that none of us knew about?
Dude, I'm just going off of all the research I did. I didn't say that. The research says that. But yeah, we're on YouTube Music.
Yeah.
And we're also now on the official podcast page for YouTube. And so we're categorized officially with all the other podcasters out there. So anyone that listens to the show and you happen to watch us on YouTube or listen on another streaming service, but you happen to like YouTube Music or you have it, go check us out.
Now, is YouTube... stop me if we're getting too deep into this because none of us work for YouTube.
No.
However, if
We barely work.
does YouTube Music require like a subscription or a user login or something?
No, it's as long as you have a YouTube account,
Okay.
you can get on YouTube Music.
All right. So everything that we had on YouTube is now ported over to YouTube Music.
Yes, everything we have, even on Spotify, Apple Music, all that. If you go to YouTube Music, it's the exact same. You will have all the updated content. And that being said, we do not work for YouTube. But if we could get to 1,000 subscribers, 1,000, we could start making a little money off this.
Serious
boys.
coin?
Yes. So everyone out there,
All right.
if you'd like to help in a big way, get us to 1,000 subscribers.
We're talking to you, Steve, in Alberta, Canada.
Yes.
We're talking about 10 cents a week, ladies and gentlemen.
Candy cane.
Not even 10 cents a week.
cane.
This is free. Completely free. Just subscribe to us and help us out.
I'm talking about the money we would make.
Right.
I mean, hey, that's better than what we're making right now.
It seems like we're only shy like 3 subscribers.
Yeah, just can't get those last 3.
No,
Does
he
it?
said 1,000, not 10.
Yeah,
not
that's
10.
what I'm talking
There are several other zeros after that number.
Todd, you have to have a couple stragglers and vagabonds just roaming around in your back 40.
They
I'm
do.
sure you could find someone.
They do. Literally, they stop me every time I'm in the grocery store. I'm like, I got to wear a hoodie in there because people are always like, hey, how's the cast going?
How's the Schnozzcast? Listen, guy that helps me into the helicopter. I don't have time to talk to you right now. Push my head down so I don't hit the rotors and just let me get in.
His name's Ray.
Hey, helicopter Ray.
So my question to you, and I don't mean to shit over the parade, but if we didn't know about this a week ago, how are they all of a sudden the number one podcast platform?
They are number one.
It hasn't been out for only a week. It's been out for like a month now.
And in that month, it's climbed to number one.
Well, the podcast section of YouTube has been out for about a month. YouTube Music has been around for a little bit.
Okay.
You've been living under a rock? Come on.
I guess I have.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not making that up. That's everything out there that I've watched.
That's what YouTube
and
Music
read.
told me.
It's official.
Even outside of YouTube Music. But apparently it's the number one streaming platform in the world. So,
All right. Well,
Did they give themselves?
And we're the number one show.
let's just, since we don't know anything about them anyway, let's just say we're the number one show on the number one platform.
Did they give them?
That seems right to me.
Yeah.
Did they ship themselves one of those play buttons?
What? Sorry, what?
One of those YouTube
the award.
platinum play buttons.
Oh, man.
One day we'll get there.
Can we get one of those?
One day.
If we get 1,000 subscribers, yes, we would definitely be in the running for that.
So, you and the bike, you two girls, tell your friends. It's ladies' night tonight at the Schnozzcast.
Well, okay. we need subscribers, guys. So don't listen to what Bob just said.
Look, ladies' night at bars typically, Todd will tell you, ladies' night at the bars makes a lot of money.
Indeed.
Why did it sound like you were talking to little girls on a bicycle?
That's because I haven't assigned you the Blues Brothers yet.
Oh, okay. I got a little worried.
Other news.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are now officially streaming in 1080p.
Ooh.
No kid.
We look really good on the YouTube.
Yeah, it's crystal fucking clear. So thank you, buddy. That's due to the upgrades that you did with the Wi-Fi.
No problem.
Your boy looks good on the tube.
Yeah, never been able to do this before.
Nice.
All right. So amongst other places, you can also find us on YouTube Music, Spotify, Pandora, if you want to follow us on social media. Other than YouTube, you can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at Schnozzcast. You can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us anytime, day or night, including right now, when we're live.
Right now.
It's 618-SHOCKER.
On the Shocker line.
I double dog dare you, single listener / viewer that we have, to call us right now at 618-SHOCKER. I want to hear what you think.
Went straight to the double dog dare.
Yeah.
Now, is it true that
There was a slight breach of etiquette.
Breach of etiquette. Thank you.
is it true that you've prepared an Easter parable for all of us?
It is not true.
Oh, okay.
That is a bald-faced lie.
What the fuck? That was the only reason I showed up tonight.
I was thought you were going to dazzle our minds.
That's
too.
going to happen. Not with an Easter parable.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Well, that's upsetting.
Yeah, that sucks. Leave it to Bob to be unprepared.
No, I'm prepared, just not with an Easter parable. That's
I mean, it seems like a double English major thing kind of do, you know.
Exactly.
not every
Just
double
like,
English major.
I'm
is a student
prepared,
of
just not
Easter
to do
history.
what I want you to do, or what I said you should
Yeah, I'm
do.
not your dancing bear.
You know, Bob's known for every Easter is parables.
Yep.
Exactly.
No, although I was telling Nick before the show that I've never tooted my own horn here, but go ahead and make the toot noise, Nick.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but
Toot, toot.
I don't
Thank you, sir.
like to hear about you tooting your own horn. What you do in the privacy of your own home is up to you.
So I along with Dr. Phil Anton, we have a radio show on Mixcloud called Musical Journeys, if you're so inclined. Every week we put out a radio show.
Hey, Nick, I don't think we ever discussed, and Todd, did we ever discuss cross-promotion on this show?
He asked for it because he talked about Easter parables, so you get what you asked for.
Wait, what?
So
What does Easter
Because
parable have to do with cross promotion?
I'm going to tell you.
If I would say, if he brings this full circle,
I'm going to tell you.
let's see
Oh,
where
I
this
will,
goes.
because tomorrow is Easter Sunday.
Yep.
And since we do an episode every week, Phil has decided that this week he's going to do an all Easter show full of 1 straight hour of Easter show tunes and musical numbers.
Because there's a lot of those?
And there are, because he sent me the file that was 1 hour long.
Who would even know that existed?
Seriously.
Well, his old man is a pastor.
Is this like Christ has risen, like
And so
dancing around the
pastors
stone?
think-
Think
Exactly.
of, right, Jesus Christ Superstar. Think of every Godspell, every musical that had to
Jacob
do with,
and the Technicolored fucking Dreamcoat.
Okay.
is it Jacob and the Joseph?
Joseph, yeah.
Joseph.
That was close.
Very close.
9 years
go
of
to
Catholic
Catholic
school. Out the window. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yep.
Jacob.
Yep. Where did he get
Josiah.
that fantastic Catholic
Technicolor
knowledge?
Dreamcoat.
Sacred Heart. That's where. Send your kids.
Corey,
Wonderful school.
in the Catholic church that you were brought up in, did you think that somewhere in the Bible there was a Technicolor Dreamcoat?
I'm offended by your question. Thank you very much.
I like how he's like, Catholic school has failed me.
You
I
failed
should have
Catholic
known.
school. You failed them.
The name was the problem.
Hopefully, Father O'Callahan won't unsubscribe now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all long gone.
All right, I wanted to share a story with you guys from the March Madness trip that I took a couple of weekends ago. Corey, you've already heard the story, so try to feign excitement and interest.
Oh, okay.
So we went down to Louisville and went to see a couple of like a doubleheader game on Friday.
Where'd you go again?
Louisville.
Bob, as we discussed the one night up at Ray's, that it's Louisville to you.
Louisville.
But it's like he's shortened it even
Lawville.
further. Like Louisville is what I'm hearing. Louisville.
Yeah, that's what I heard when I was down there by the locals.
Yeah, because exactly, he went there so he can pronounce it now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Lawville.
I am an expert in Louisville.
Yeah, we're going to New Orleans.
History and lore.
Louisville.
So
Seriously.
He's a local.
So there were probably 8 of us going to the games, and there's a text thread that we use literally every day all year long, and everybody who's on the thread, and they know this. It's like they don't have jobs. All they do is text that thread all day long, and so I have to silence the thread because there's just so much coming in. I can't have my phone dinging like that. There's like 400 or 500 texts a day. So at some point before the trip, the top guy in seniority said, "Hey, whoever's going to the game, let me know and I'll pick up tickets." And I missed seeing it. I totally missed it. Didn't see it at all. So we get down there. We're in the Uber going to the game, and he's like, "All right, we got tickets for you. Bob, you got your ticket?" And I'm like, "What?" And I did not have a ticket. So
You get a ticket.
you get a ticket. So I had to get on StubHub and buy tickets while we were in the Uber to get into the game. And these guys paid $300 for two tickets on Friday and 1 ticket on Sunday. I got 2 tickets on Friday for like $115, and now all of a sudden everybody's mad at me.
Nice.
I couldn't sit down with them, but the stadium, the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, was we're in the upper bowl. They're probably in the 3rd row. 10 rows behind that, there's a railing with some chairs, so you could literally sit down and eat a meal. So I just sat back there. I didn't get to sit with them, but it was totally fine.
Wasn't it true that you said that you couldn't sit because your ticket stipulation said that you had to
You had to stand,
pick up at least 14 pieces of trash
on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Yes, in the rain. So that was fine. So we went on Friday, and then on Sunday we were going back, and there were a couple of guys who had flown back early, so they had extra tickets. So I got to use one of their tickets, so I didn't have to pay for that either. So,
wow.
Which also made them mad again at me. But what were they going to do? Make me buy another ticket for no reason? So we go into the game, and we're going to sit back in the same seats where I can now sit with them because there's enough. There's fewer of us, and we can all fit in the seats. So we're sitting back there. Guys are going to the bathroom, getting beers, and we're getting ready to go down to the seats. And I look down there, and I see that there's a lady, and then a girl, maybe a teenage girl, and then a man sitting in our seats. And I look over to one of the guys, Tony, and I'm like, "Hey,
peasants,
you see this guy? He's like, "Oh, they're gonna have to fucking move." So everybody gets together. We all go down there, down the steps one at a time. And I'm in the back, and Tony's up in the front. He starts talking to the lady, and I can't hear what he's saying, but it's obviously to the effect of, "Hey, you're in our seats. We need you to move." So she gets up, and then the girl stays in her chair. The guy, the father gets up, and he starts looking around, looking left, looking right. And then all of a sudden, he leans over and he puts his arm behind her back, and then his other arm underneath her legs, and he starts picking her up and carrying her out through the row because she's clearly disabled.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Out of the seats.
They kicked the little disabled girl right out of her chair.
And
not her wheelchair either.
He's very slowly, wobbly, kind of trying to get. Now there are in the second row there are people, but in the first row those seats are empty. So the people in front, so you can come sit down here. We'll move down to the first row. So that's what they did. They moved over, and meanwhile I'm looking at Ed, the guy in front of me, standing up on the steps, and I'm like, "We don't have to fucking sit here. This is crazy. Tell them they don't have to move. We're all going to go to hell." So
Bob, it's hard in those stadiums for them to bring a wheelchair. So this poor father probably had to carry his daughter.
He absolutely did because her wheelchair was nowhere to be seen. So they move. We go sit down, and I'm sitting next to Tony, the guy who originally talked to the mom about getting out of our seats. And I'm like, "Oh, my God." I'm like, "What have we done?" He's like, "You know what? Fuck them kids." They knew exactly where their seats were. If anybody who bought a ticket to get here has a seat number, and that wasn't it. It is on them that they sat in our seats. What were they going to do? So you're telling me that they wheeled her into the stadium. They got in the elevator. They came up, got her out of the wheelchair. When asked, "Oh, where are your seats? Show me your ticket." Somehow they showed him a ticket, and then they decided, no, instead of that seat, I'm going to carry her down to these other seats that are not handicapped seats. And he's talking to me for 10 minutes, and in that 10 minutes, he kind of convinced me. he swung me back the other way. I'm like, yeah, fuck them kids.
You didn't throw anything at her, did you?
No, but this whole time he's talking to me, they're right in front of us. They could all clearly hear us. And so I was kind of swung back the other way. Todd Dillon, as a sports aficionado, I want your thoughts on this.
Again, guys, 1,000 subscribers, please.
I know. I'm more confused than anything.
Sorry, that probably wasn't a subscriber attracting story.
It was not.
No, it was not.
It was not, because it seems like you're pretty mean.
Is that your take? I was pretty mean?
Yeah.
Would you have asked him to get up or no?
No.
Okay, what would you have done?
I'd have checked my text and been with the other guys.
Where would you have sat?
What Todd is saying is he would have been part of that thread way prior to the trip.
But
and he would have had his ticket.
Seats. The question is not, would you have bought your ticket in an Uber the way Bob had to?
I would say if I saw that his daughter was handicapped, I said, you know what, keep these seats, and I would have stood by the bar and people watched the game on one of the monitors. Were you paid
$300 for 3 games to sit there?
Yep.
So $100 seat you're going to give up when clearly they had seats elsewhere.
Yep.
Todd's like, oldest trick in the book.
Possibly in the handicap section.
Throw her on the ground, see if she walks.
Like again, that's just me. I'm not making any judgments.
Cast her into the pond.
If it was a handicapped child, I'd give up my seats in a minute for all 3 games. No questions asked. I'd say stay.
Okay.
Because
1,000 guys just need to hit that 1,000 mark.
No, because in all honesty, like I get the money that was spent, but I guess it's the same concept of like, letting a pregnant woman sit down and you have to stand, regardless of if you paid any money. I would like to think that the world is not that hedonistic, and that it was an honest mistake. And
ask where their seats are.
Hold on,
it's not an honest mistake. Where are your seats?
It's not. It wasn't a general admission. It wasn't a general admission.
You could have asked to swap them tickets then.
Yeah. Why do I need to ask them to swap tickets when they should have sat in the tickets?
You don't need to, but you could still be the bigger person, Bob.
Is it really about being the bigger person? Shouldn't the dad have sat them where they bought tickets at, rather than knowingly stealing someone else's chair?
He may have had his hands full.
Not at the time.
He might have sat in his seats and he goes, this game's getting ready to start and those assholes aren't in their seats. Let's go sit in them.
Yeah, I'm getting tired. I went down 1,800 flights of stairs carrying my daughter.
It was 7 stairs that he had to walk. That's it. 8 if you count the next row that he had to move up.
Unless the dude's a total creep and they make this a habit, I would have swapped him seats.
Right. That's why I said I'd like to think he's not hedonistic.
But there are only 3 of them. There are 8 of us.
Like pulling this at every event,
Exactly.
I feel like that might be what they're doing. This is kind of their thing.
Okay, if it saves your psyche.
It does. It's letting me sleep at night. It's letting me sleep at night.
Didn't you also throw donuts at a homeless woman?
Anyway, moving on to Gentlemen's Agreement. You son of a bitch.
Agreement. Gentlemen's Agreement. Gentlemen's Agreement. Gentlemen's Agreement. Gentlemen's Agreement. Oh, Gentlemen's Agreement. Oh, it's the motherfucking Gentlemen's Agreement. Gentlemen's Agreement. Oh.
All right.
I still love that.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll let it keep going at a lower volume. That's fine. Oh, that's it. Okay.
The MF and Gentlemen's Agreement.
All the other
I love
songs
it.
are so long. I forgot that one was not as long. Probably because it's the only one that Nick actually made.
Well,
yeah.
Nick and a dude from Fiverr.
What dude from Fiverr?
That was all Nick's work.
It was Nick's
I can
work.
back him on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we did get a hello from Gina from Indiana.
Hello, Gina from Indiana.
That was a little bit ago, but I didn't want to interrupt your story.
It's not really
we have
Gina's.
tech difficulties because I responded to her in both.
You responded on YouTube, buddy. She's on Facebook.
It's
I did
not
on
really
both
Gina.
platforms.
Oh, yeah. We're covering multiple platforms.
It's a
We
demon
are,
that's taken
and I
over
did.
her phone.
All right. Does
You don't
anyone
know
want to
me,
go
TT.
first?
Yeah, I can go.
Nick, you had now. So we're going back a little ways. This is from a few weeks ago.
Oh,
God bless you. God bless you on this.
Gesundheit.
The power of Christ compels you.
On this
Gesundheit.
eve of the
You're
most
not a-
holy of holy days.
The power of Christ compels you, Corey.
You're not a fish.
Whew. Wow, that was a rush.
Did you hear?
That's for,
Did you hear?
that's for
I
hiccups.
said,
I'm sorry.
I said that wasn't Gina. It was the demon that took over her phone because she's doing a haunting right now. And as soon as that happened, Corey expelled one himself.
Oh,
The ghost of Gina coming through your nose.
wow.
You all
Probably
right?
don't have any blood left
I
in your
think
feet
so.
right now, do you?
I know.
Snap that rib back into spot.
Hey!
I couldn't even. I was trying to get me off camera before I did that too, and I couldn't even do that.
Full body lockout on that one.
Oh, dude! The other night I did have. I was laying on the couch watching TV, and Danielle was laying there.
Yeah.
And I felt the sneeze coming on, but I'm like, oh, I got to fart too. And I just said, I looked at her. I go, this is gonna be a problem. I sneezed, and I ripped the hardest fart I think I've ever ripped in my entire life. And it was.
What the fuck?
You've never had that happen?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think
A
so.
sneeze and a fart?
Yeah. Oh
a fart?
man.
Yeah.
You get
That's a fart?
that burning butthole sensation afterwards.
No.
Whew.
No.
Anyways, that sneeze just reminded me of that. That's all I wanted
And
to tell
if
you
you'll
guys.
excuse me, I need to go to the bathroom.
It feels
I
like we're
did shit my
dropping
pants.
dropping another follower.
Remember on Rampage when the guys would shrink down and they'd go like
Yeah,
this and their
exactly.
legs would cross and they'd go off
Good
the
point,
screen?
Todd.
That's what I envision you doing.
How is that sneeze supposed to attract listeners, Corey?
I mean, this is a very attractive show so far.
That's just my charm. What can I say?
All right, well, we're going to bring it all back around again with this review of Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, I had Kaleidoscope from Cory. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to. It had a rough start for me, but the guy that played Gus Fring on Breaking Bad was in the show,
Yeah.
and I know he's a phenomenal actor, so that's what kind of kept me in it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really good. It was different. I think it was just about different heists that they did as criminals, and it's pretty interesting. I would highly recommend it.
That's the one I gave you, right, Bob?
You did get that to me, yep.
I actually finished everything. I finished it all.
Nice.
That's great.
Do you remember which color order they had you watch it in? Because
What?
So he doesn't know. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So every viewer, everyone watched it in a different sequence.
Oh, okay.
Like so if you notice, like the titles weren't like an episodic title. It was just yellow or orange.
Mm-hmm.
Pink. Yep.
Yeah. So everyone on Netflix, I mean, I'm sure there was obviously a lot of people out there that did get it, in the same order, but everyone watched it in a random different order.
I can't remember.
I should have. That's my fault. I should have mentioned that prior to you.
I think it's still cool that he didn't know that. And again,
Yeah, I did.
He got his own experience and he liked it and went back through. So I think that's what's pretty cool.
I think maybe pink. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I should have mentioned that before you watched it. But I'm glad you liked it. I was kind of surprised myself because Danielle was actually the one that brought it up to me. And I was like, I watched like one preview and I'm like, I don't know about this.
Does it tell you at the beginning of each episode?
It
Yes.
tells
Just
you what color you're watching.
Yeah, just in your Netflix, it'll list off
in the
which
first
order.
one, then the first one, it tells you that they're not in any specific order.
The cool part about the show is they can be watched.
White.
Oh, okay. That's
All right.
the first one you watched?
No, not the first one I watched. That's the last one that's playing right now.
Oh, that's everybody gets the last one. The last one I think is the one that's
I think the
common.
first and the last, wasn't it?
No, I think it's
Or
just
the last?
just the last one.
Okay.
So wouldn't it tell you like in the episode order? Yeah. So the first one I watched was black, yellow, green, blue, orange, violet, red, pink, and then
I
white.
remember when Todd assigned it to me, he asked me to tell him what order I watched them in.
Yeah.
I don't know if my responses meant anything to him at the time, but
Yeah, ours didn't match right away, right out of the gate.
supposedly you can watch them in any order, but there are the thing that I wish I had known before I'd seen it. Sorry to go on with this. I know
No,
we're
go
trying
ahead.
to keep it short, but I didn't know that there are people online who've made like viewing guides to the show. So if you want a particular type of experience, like you want a Quentin Tarantino type of experience where it jumps around in time, then you watch it in this order. If you want to watch it like as the heist unfolds, then here's the order you watch it. There are probably like a dozen of these viewing guides out there. So depending
That's
on the
awesome.
type of experience you want, that's what you follow.
I
didn't know that.
Mine jumped around a lot.
As everyone's probably did.
what everyone's did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's awesome that you liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not
Bravo.
see that coming, honestly.
I figured it might be a slow burn for him, but I kind of figured he'd catch on to it and like it.
Well, it was a.
I get partial credit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, wait, how do you get partial? You assigned it to me.
That's true. I wouldn't have. That would have been a big. That would have been stepping out big time for me to assign that to Nick.
I really like though. I don't know. I've only seen him in Breaking Bad, and I just love him as an actor. He's phenomenal. He does a great job.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, oh man, if he's gonna like it, it's gonna be because of Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, Todd, can we move on to you?
We can.
You had The Last of Us.
I did.
I can't recall who assigned. Was it Nick?
No,
I think that was me.
Was it you too?
Yeah, 'cause we're covering some different weeks now.
We
so yeah,
we are. All right, Todd.
So, yep. So 30 seconds and then spoiler free. It's the new generation zombie movie, where basically instead of I can't even remember how all the other zombie movies start, but basically this time, rather than a virus of any kind being the most dangerous thing, the scientific premise is that fungus is way, way, way worse because it can affect your mind. So zombie movie where a bad fungus out of control, the world turns into a bunch of zombies. Turns out zombies, when I was a kid, were super slow. So I was always like, you can run away from them. If you barricade a door, like you got a good, 150-yard head start. But now these fuckers are quick. Pardon my language. They're fast zombies, but very, very well written zombie storyline because I'm not as far. I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in. Because Mary is actually hooked on it and won't let me watch it unless she's there to watch it with me. So,
welcome to my world, Todd.
exactly. So I'm giving it a very high grade. I would highly recommend. It's a zombie movie. There's a couple of corners they cut here and there as far as the writing, but the acting is pretty good, and you actually kind of bond with the characters. So I like it. It's a solid recommend. If I gave it a grade, Bob, I give you or Cory, I give you a solid B+.
Great.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for finally getting to me.
Crazy thing is cordyceps is an actual fungus, an actual zombie fungus that affects bugs, and it grows out of their brainstem, and it causes them. It takes over their body, causes them to climb very, very high up into a tree, to where I don't know, they can get pollinated or something, whatever, and then these things shoot out of their head. And a lot of times, like half their head is missing. Like it eats like half their head, half their brain is gone. It takes over their brain. And there was something that I actually read recently that said a scientist it was the first time it jumped from plant to human. That it's actually gone. This has actually happened in the lab. I'm like, oh Jesus! Like it's only a matter of time. That's it. So that is something very real.
Well, hopefully this fungus will make us be nice to each other instead of freaking eating each other.
Yep. Unless we're just gonna have a bunch of humans up in trees, with shit growing out of their head.
All right, Cory, you want to go next?
Sure. I had The Odd Couple from you.
Yes. Now you actually watched the correct one this time.
So I watched the original TV show.
Yeah, Jack Klugman, Tony Randall.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I went to the newer version of the TV show.
I don't even know who that is in that one.
That's John.
John Krasinski.
No, Lennon. That's
John
No,
Lennon.
Thomas Lennon from Reno 911, Lieutenant Dangle. Him and Matthew Perry.
Okay.
So that's what I originally started watching prior to confirming with you that it was the actual movie.
Right.
So the original 1970s TV episode or TV show, it was something. It's the way they make it out in that version.
Yeah.
It's basically 2 gay guys living in New York.
Okay.
And even though it was based off the movie, it's nothing like the movie
Okay.
except for the fact that it's the two same guys living together.
Yeah.
The new one.
Are you sure you didn't watch Perfect Strangers?
Was there someone named Malky in that one?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Standing tall.
You know the theme song to Perfect Strangers?
Fuck yeah.
And even the old Odd Couple
Wow.
had a laugh track, which sucked.
Yeah.
And then I watched the new one. The new one, I think I watched like maybe a half an episode, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not
All right,
not
so
watching
the question
this."
is, did you ever watch the one I assigned to you?
But I did watch the actual movie.
All right.
With Walter Matthau.
Jack
so-
Lemmon, yep.
A great, obviously just him alone is enough to sell me on it. But it's one of those movies again too. Like it hasn't really grown with the times.
No, it's very much a late 60s.
Yeah, I think it was 68
Yeah.
that it came out. It wasn't terrible. It was for its time. It was good.
It wasn't terrible?
It
That's
wasn't
fine.
terrible.
No, because
man.
the movie had me. I mean, I was invested in the entire thing
Yeah.
until the end. The end was the only thing that I'm like, that's how they ended this. Spoiler. Here you go. That they just move out, and everything goes back to
Yeah, back to the way it was.
yeah. That was the worst
Simpler
ending.
time back then.
Clearly. Because I'll tell you what, man, it wasn't. Yeah, the ending just completely sucked the life out of that movie for me.
All right.
Good
So,
job.
all right. So if you, I got to ask, since I already got it wasn't terrible. What kind of grade am I getting?
I mean, I'll give it a B.
I'll take a B.
What?
I'll take a B.
B?
Yeah. Yeah, because the
See,
entire
that's why we shouldn't give letter grades
But,
because
hold on.
you're the one that fucking
that
started
review
letter
was a
grades.
D minus. That was a D. I thought it was going to be. A
No,
B.
it was B.
Anything higher than a D is it wasn't terrible.
Because the movie had me. Like I said, it was just then the ending came. And I was like, fuck! I just watched all that for that ending. Okay,
What were you hoping that happened in that movie at the end?
I don't know. I guess I was kind of thinking
That he
about
actually jumped out the window?
I mean, that would have been funny. But no, like I like after watching the episodes of the TV show,
Oh, you think that soured your impression of how it was going to go?
maybe a little bit.
All right.
But-
Because I got to admit, I haven't watched those TV shows, so I don't have the same experience that you do. So
That's all right.
All right.
And
I'll
Kevin
take the
Cromwell says, "Hey y'all,
Hey, y'all, Kevin Cromwell.
a retired historian, Kevin Cromwell
Is he
himself."
retired?
I mean, clearly, I don't. He just
Does he have
walked
a
off.
pension?
He
Did we
just
give him
walked
a
off the
pension?
job.
Well, I hope he's not expecting like a monthly stipend.
Oh, we forgot to tell you, Bob.
God damn it!
We've been using your bank account to send Kevin checks every month.
All right, let me wrap it up here, and then we'll do new assignments. I had so Nick gave me an assignment, but it was the one that during the show he needed some more time to come up with it. So I got a text from him later in the week, and he gave me "Don't Breathe." I wish I could remember the name of the actor, but he was the guy. He was the bad guy in Avatar. I don't know if you never
Was
saw
he?
Avatar.
I
Yeah,
saw
he's
Avatar.
a really good actor.
I don't remember a bad guy though.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was the big
Weren't
military.
they all in like makeup and everything?
He was not one of the guys in makeup.
Oh,
he was
okay.
he was a human. He was the bad guy who was trying to get all of the
The first one?
unobtainium from the first Avatar movie.
Oh, okay.
At any rate, Stephen Lang is his. Yes,
You're thinking of KD Lang.
No, I'm thinking of Stephen Stills. No, I'm thinking of Stephen Lang. Plays. He's a veteran who's living in Detroit, which I did not know. I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while. Actually,
Have you really?
yeah, I didn't know it was set in Detroit though.
Isn't that cool?
It's about a home invasion gone wrong. It's billed as a horror flick, and I was struggling for most of the movie to figure out why it was a horror flick, and then I got to the end, and then I understood why. Mm-hmm. So I loved it. I thought he did a fantastic job. And there is a Don't Breathe 2 that I'm thinking about seeing if it's worth my time.
Yeah, I thought it was different. It was not something like I normally always watch. I love the idea that it took place in Detroit. It had the kid from 13 Reasons Why
Yeah.
That show with the girl with the tapes and everything. I thought he did a great job.
You know
in
what
that.
else he was in?
What's that?
Lost.
Was he?
He was Jack's son in the last season.
Was he?
The show you loved.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was obviously a much younger kid at the time, but
I don't remember. Yeah.
I loved it. I give it a solid A. It was
Nice.
a movie that I'd already been wanting to watch, and it turned out to be better than I thought it would be. So you
Sweet.
can't go wrong with that. All right, we got shots sitting here, Todd. So before we get going with new assignments, and then we move on to a little existential question, let's do a shot.
I got a shot.
So if anybody out there on YouTube Music is new to the show, we do shots from time to time. So you should get yourself something to drink and join us.
So you should do a shot too, is what we're trying to say.
He's trying to bait me into a impression. It's not going to work.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Salute.
Sometimes I like to think I'm a giant and this is an actual fifth.
That is really good. Really,
Thank you.
really good.
I thought so.
Todd, yeah, terrible timing there, Todd.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. I have drawn Nick. Cory has Todd. Todd has me, and Nick has Cory. I've already got you, Nick.
Yeah, what you got?
Yep. Based on our previous conversation at the beginning of the podcast, you got the Blues Brothers.
I've seen it.
Ooh.
You have not seen it.
Yeah,
The new one or the old one?
the old one.
Assign him the new one.
Oh, don't do
I
that.
thought it was a trick question. There is no new one.
I thought there was a new one, and I thought it was horrible.
Oh, the Blues Brothers 2000? No, that's a piece of shit. Why would you even? That's not even an official.
I don't know.
I disavow its very existence.
Yeah, someone's given me the blues. The blues.
Seriously?
Before. Yeah. Aretha Franklin in the coffee shop singing.
Wow.
Yeah, all
Yep.
that. Yep.
You know what? It's the first
You
time.
probably gave it to
in
him already.
maybe it was me.
It was
It-
because we
it
talked about the Wrigley Field thing.
It was
damn it.
probably before we were keeping track of all this
Maybe it was.
because we didn't keep track of this for a long
All right.
time.
Well, now I got to rethink this whole thing.
Yeah.
Real quick, Lori says, hello, gentlemen. Tony,
Glory!
cheers, boys.
Hello.
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 Hello. La la la.
And Tony gave us cheers.
La la la.
Cheers, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
All right. Yeah. Now I got to give you something for sure that you're gonna like. God damn it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have
I
to.
can't take a chance.
I'm gonna have to think of something too. I'm never good at this on the spot.
Todd, you got one for me?
My library's too small.
I do.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Race.
Race.
Yep.
It's always about race with you, isn't it, Todd?
Yeah.
Every day, all day.
Is this on Netflix or?
I'm not sure what service you'll see it on. It's a 2016 film. Should be on one of the major things.
2016. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Not 2106. 2016. Todd, you sent me one of those movies from the future. Okay.
I don't know. It was
You
from
stop.
2016.
All right. Cory, you got something for Todd?
I do. Todd, you have Iceberg Slim, Portrait of a Pimp on Amazon.
Got it.
Haven't seen that already, Todd?
I haven't. Pimping ain't easy, but it's necessary.
All right.
Then you are going to fucking love this, buddy.
All right.
Hoes got to eat too.
Oh, this is right up your alley. No, in all honesty, the second I started watching, I'm like, this is getting assigned to Todd.
All right. Nick, I guess I have to ask this now because you just schooled me. Have you seen The Silence of the Lambs?
Nope.
There you go.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
That is a big one, and it's a quid pro quo from what you just assigned me. So,
All right.
I think he's gonna like it. I think he's.
well, that's a first because normally you're like, that's stupid. He's gonna hate that.
Yeah, he'll like this one. He'll like this one.
You dumb asshole.
That's exactly how that normally goes. All right, so you're gonna come back later, Nick.
Yeah, I'm gonna text Cory later.
Okay. Let us then move on, gentlemen, to Nick's existential question of the week.
Existential question of the week.
All right, for this episode's installment of Nick's existential question, Today it would be, I don't even want to say in light of Easter, because that would be horrible. But
Be appropriate.
yeah, but not for this question.
Oh.
This is
Bless you.
Okay.
this is
Gesundheit.
So we're continuing down the road of attracting as few subscribers as possible.
Yeah.
For our inaugural episode with YouTube Music.
Great. 1,000 subscribers, guys.
Where we're number
That's all-
one. We're the number one podcast, baby. If you're listening, you're lucky.
this installment of Nick's existential question is: if you could pick a not very pleasant way to die, what would it be and why? You had to pick one way. Can't be like, in my sleep. Like, nothing like that.
So it has to be gruesome and
Doesn't have to be gruesome,
unfortunate.
but it can't be like, I had a coronary while I was asleep and I didn't feel anything. Like, it has to be like an actual, not the greatest way to die. But you got to pick it.
All right.
What would you pick and why?
Todd, do you have anything?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do. I'm ready.
I think he's
Go
got
ahead,
a
go ahead.
clarifying question.
No. Actually, this is right up my alley. No clarifying question at all.
How is this up your alley? I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck the question is.
So you have
You
a
want us
clarifying
to-
question?
Yes, I
Can you
do.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. If you had to pick a way to die that's not very pleasant, can't be like I fell asleep and had an aneurysm in my sleep, didn't feel anything. It's got to be like an actual, like this was not the greatest thing. This is not something I want to happen. This is not something I would enjoy.
Kevin's got his answer.
Yeah.
So
Slow burning.
ipso facto, you're asking us to tell you what our the way to die, the method of death that we most fear.
not necessarily.
No, not necessarily. I
No,
got
'cause-
an answer. Don't let Bob screw this up for me. I got mine all locked up.
Go ahead, Todd.
All right.
locked
What
up.
you got, Todd?
Don't fuck it up for Todd.
All right. And anybody who knows me knows that I like things that go fast.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the funny debates that Mary and I have all the time in the house is, like, again, we're using private companies to send people to space all the time now, and I'm like, as soon as it's affordable, I want to be on one of those rockets. I want to go to space, and so the way that I'd like to go, again, to my knowledge, the fastest thing that there is going is those rockets and the speeds that they go travel in space. So if my ship blows up like a Challenger, that's a good way to go for me. And then nobody's got to pay for burying anything. It's like, but going fast and a big old bang.
Bob's calling a timeout.
Okay, so no one has to pay to bury you, but a multi-billion-dollar rocket someone will have to pay for so it explodes and kills you?
Money was already committed to that bitch. It ain't like you're going to use it twice.
Okay. Bob, go ahead.
Wait, hang on.
Can you restate the question?
say clarifying
I feel like he answered some other question. Please restate the question.
I suddenly got very confused when
Yeah.
Todd answered.
Yeah, I am
What are you
too.
talking
I'm
about?
currently
I was like,
confused.
wait a second. So the way we want to die?
Could you please? Right. He's like, this is my favorite way to die.
'Cause I had my
Could you
answer.
please restate the question?
Yeah, it's kind of hybrid. It's a mixture between you being able to pick your way to die, but you can't do the I wish for more wishes. It can't be
Just restate the question.
Which I
and
just
then
did.
will know. No, not you, Nick.
okay. If you had to pick a way to die that was not necessarily pleasant, what would you pick and why?
Oh, I see. So Todd's picking a space-related death because
I
he
think
loves
a space speed explosion.
even though it's a gruesome way to die. Maybe not gruesome, but
I think you and I were on the same page on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had the question wrong, I think.
So, but
I guess I did.
I think where Todd has gone a little off topic, and we can fill in the blanks for him, is that's basically like a light switch. That's an easy way out. You're not going to know it. You're not going to know what happened.
Dude,
It's
you don't
just
know if it was a
gone.
fart from inside the cabin that caused the fucking thing to explode,
that.
and I had to smell it before it blew up. You
So
don't
I will
know
s-
how gruesome it was. Or
I will
not.
say this: Todd dies in a space explosion, but his section of the ship that is airtight happens to break off and fly off into deep space, and he dies a long, lonesome death running out of oxygen.
As long as I was going 500,000 miles per hour at the time, that's fine. I'm good with that.
I think they only go like 15,000 miles an hour, don't they?
Only 15,000 miles per hour? Good. I'm good with that, dude.
Okay.
Terry Creation is in the room too.
I thought you were gonna say Terry Crews.
No, Terry Creation. I wish if Terry Crews is in the room. That'd be fantastic.
Can we take a commercial break here in the middle of the segment just to plead with anyone who's currently watching or listening to us now to subscribe to us on YouTube Music and help us to get to 1,000 followers.
Yes,
subscribers.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
And have your friends and cousins and relatives as well.
Yep. Tell your friends. Tell your entire family tomorrow when you're at Easter Sunday and they're asking you to pass the ham. While you're doing it, say, have you subscribed to the Schnozzcast on YouTube Music?
Yeah.
And, I mean, it started GoFundMe for just subscribers. We don't need money.
Yeah. When you're
Just subscribers.
When you're in church and you're accepting the host, just ask the priest right there. Have you subscribed to the Schnozzcast on YouTube Music?
The body of Christ.
Amen. Body of Christ compels you.
Make sure it's not a Sacred Heart.
They don't say the body of Christ compels you.
In my head, they do. For this particular example,
You've-
you're already saying so
you've-
many wrong things. You
you've-
might as well just say that
You've
too.
mixed taking the body of Christ with an exorcism.
Yes, I have.
Very different
I know.
moments.
Well, are they?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Anyways.
Cory will tell you. It's all Catholicism.
Yeah.
All right, Cory, what's yours?
I guess if I had to pick a way that wasn't slow and easy, that I guess I would.
Slow and easy?
No, that's not the
Fast and
question.
easy. Sorry.
No, that's also not the question. The question is,
If you make me repeat the question again.
well, I feel like this is not your fault because you didn't write the question, but I feel like it's not
He asked
the
it,
most
though.
clearly worded question. I think it's open to a bit of interpretation.
Yeah.
And I'm about to hear the second answer that I also feel doesn't
Might
really
not
doesn't really answer.
No. I think I got it. Okay, I think I got it.
All right.
So drowning.
Oh, my God.
Dude,
See, again, I don't know what the fuck to say with this
because
question.
you guys know I love being on the water, so I would like that aspect
Also
of
hate
it.
breathing water.
But yes, drowning would
Have you ever gotten like
fucking
a
suck.
little water in your
yeah,
nose?
it's terrible.
It was the worst thing
I
in the
know.
world.
So I would hate to be drowning, but that wouldn't be like a quick and easy, like off.
But what
I'm not
if
sure that
it's in a
quick and
septic
was-
tank?
Hold on. Was quick and easy part of the question?
No.
Well,
no, it wasn't.
Not that you couldn't go in a peaceful way.
None of you fuckers are answering the question that he asked.
I clearly just
I
answered it.
don't
No,
get
you did
that.
not.
You're welcome.
What question is Bob hearing?
Todd
Hey,
answered.
Nick.
Hold on. Todd answered quick and easy. Cory answered the worst painful way to die. So
I think fire would be worse and more painful.
and that's why I keep asking you to restate the question because the answers are not at all alike.
All right, hang on. So, and Terry said bomb explosion while sleeping. Would that qualify?
But for what?
But
What would it
nature
qualify for?
can't qualify.
That is an
Because
answer.
That would
but
be like that's
is it
like
a good
dying
answer?
of a
No.
heart attack.
You know why?
That's like
'Cause
dying of a heart attack.
I don't think the question contained the words "pick something that was quick
is she
and easy."
like in 1990s Kosovo? Like where is she that she's being bombed in the middle
She's
of the
in
night?
the beginning of the movie
Dude.
Speed, where they're trying to find the guy on the bus.
Dude, she could be in Ukraine.
She could be in.
Terry, are you in the Ukraine
Are
currently?
you in Kiev?
Let us know. We'll try to get you out.
Kyiv.
Yeah,
Get your city straight.
sure. Chicken Kiev.
Chicken Keith.
Would you please do me a favor and go next so that
Yes.
I can hear the person
Actually,
who read
can you
the
restate the question?
who I assume understands it the best?
Can you
actually
restate
answer
the question? For the audience, can you restate it one time?
Yeah, sure. If you had to pick a way to die that wasn't necessarily very pleasant.
Wasn't necessarily pleasant. Not quick, not easy.
That's why I said a drowning wouldn't be
Necessarily
pleasant.
pleasant isn't that, Bob? You're pushing your own feelings on the necessarily pleasant.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
I would say a long painful illness. It's not the worst.
So long.
So Bob still
I
doesn't
want
get
to
the
die of
question.
psoriasis.
Basically, any answer qualifies.
It's not the worst way to die.
any
That's not, 'cause
any way you die is not necessarily pleasant.
the worst way to die is not the question.
That's right.
Because if I had to pick the worst way to die, it would be lost at sea getting eaten by sharks. That would be the worst way to die.
I can think of 16 more that are
Nope.
way worse than that.
Nope.
Yeah, if Todd was in space being eaten by sharks, that would be horrible.
I think the next existential question would be, if we were going to kill somebody, what would be the worst?
That might be
Long, painful illness is not quick.
Yeah.
It's horrible. You were communicating with your family. They're watching you suffer. That sucks.
Hey, wait a minute. We're all dying of heart disease because hearts don't last infinitely.
It's very true. Good job, Todd.
Good job, Dr. Todd.
Yeah.
Kevin
Kevin took the easy way out. That's what's not pleasant about that. And he said you couldn't have a heart attack in your sleep. He prefaced that.
Kevin Cromwell says failed parachute.
Ooh, I do like that one.
Kevin, if
fast again.
If you don't know, was in the airborne unit.
But why are you jumping off something or jumping out of a perfectly good plane?
But see, I feel like that would be for someone like Kevin that loved jumping out of planes. I'm assuming that would be a lot of fun until the end, and then it's just lights out.
Wow, and the end's coming really fast. It won't hurt.
It's not like you. It's not like you kind of survive. You're just done.
Actually, the weird thing about that is, I think we've covered this on other episodes, but the weird thing is, do you know how many people jump out of planes, their chutes don't open, and they bounce off the earth and live? I think that might be.
I don't think a lot.
The fact that the numbers
but more than zero
is really surprising.
I actually did just watch a documentary the other day on it. It was about basically like near-death feats that have happened.
The top 100 ways to die in a not necessarily pleasant way.
This one guy was skydiving, and him and the instructor pulled both chutes. They got tangled up, and they hit the ground going pretty fast, and they both fucking lived.
Exactly. That's what I say with skydiving accidents. I'm like, the number is higher than zero, because you'd think if you jumped out of a plane at skydive height, you'd die 100% of the time. But there's a percentage that is greater than zero that lives, and I'm like, that would be a horrible way to live, I imagine. Because that would suck.
When you're in that free fall and you realize that it's not opening, you just tilt forward a little bit so your head hits the ground and you're done.
Face first.
Yeah, you don't feet first on the ground.
Well, then that negates anybody's reason for that. Then that negates Kevin's approach. Then failed parachute.
1,000 subscribers, Todd. We're trying to go for 1,000.
Well,
Stop insulting.
I love Kevin.
A retired historian.
Based on you, Bob, I gotta freaking strike his answer from the records, because that would be the easy way out. Because
gentlemen, we have the biggest finger wagger here that has not gone yet.
Yeah. I got to go with getting struck by a meteor.
No.
Wait a second.
That is,
I veto.
You would be vaporized.
Exactly.
Not
it wouldn't even
necessarily
hurt.
pleasant.
It would be pleasant. It would be very pleasant, Bob.
You wouldn't even know what happened.
No, it was
orgasmic. It would be very, very pleasant.
All it has to be, according to the question, is not necessarily pleasant. And I would say being struck by a meteor is probably in that category.
He's doing this just to spite us.
I just don't understand the question.
No. He just didn't like the question, and he just wanted to
that is
defeat
true.
it from the get-go.
That is also true. But I feel like my answer qualifies.
No.
It is not the worst way to die, in my opinion. That would be
I feel like it's orgasmic,
to be
Bob.
thrown out of a plane without a parachute.
Because as much as I like to go fast, getting hit by something going so fast that the Earth's atmosphere couldn't slow it down from slamming into the Earth, and I was in the way.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
you
close
Not
second to
necessarily
space.
pleasant.
You would have no
Sounds like-
recollection. Ooh, you know what I could think of would be a good one? Would be to be in the city of Pompeii when that went off.
But that's not a quick death. I mean, that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
And also not necessarily pleasant.
Yeah, the Pompeii thing.
This is my issue with the
where
question.
you're carbonized.
The question is so vague that literally anything that you name as a way to die is not necessarily
I have a
pleasant.
number 2, then. If you want to go there, then, Bob.
Sure.
We're doubling
I'll
back.
take rattlesnake bite on the taint.
What
in
were
the
you
desert
doing?
with no help in mind. I'm taking a
shit
jump
in
in the
taking a
woods, and a rattlesnake bit me on the ass.
In his Home
and then
Depot
I died. And it'd probably take like a day and a half, 2 days.
Were you looking for?
That'd be
Were you
pretty
looking?
shitty.
Were you looking for the idol in that big
Yeah,
pit?
he was in the City Slickers too.
Can you repeat the question?
I can't think of a better way to cap this episode than Todd getting rattlesnake bit in the taint.
Right on that taint.
Yeah.
He's gonna be laughing for a while.
Who is Todd is?
Yeah.
Can we just go out on his audio? Which is Todd's audio? Is that
You
it?
cutting me
I
off?
don't know. You run the fucking mixer.
I
He doesn't
know. Good night.
Good night. Thanks, everybody. Join us next week. On behalf of Cory and Nick and Todd, this is Bob saying we'll see you later. Peace out.